let's do it. It's Eric Arnold, once in a while known as the Big E, here in his sports barn. And it's Divisional Football Saturday here in January. What is it, the 16th? I don't even know. It doesn't matter. It's that Saturday. It's probably about noon. Well, we're a little late getting these picks to you for the NFL, but believe it or not, I think they may have the advantage of being correct. I feel pretty good about these picks coming up here. I think I got a pretty good look at them, and I'm feeling okay about them. Let's get into what I did here yesterday. I mean, at least I won yesterday, so I want to tell you about it. In college basketball Friday night, we had, I tried something new. And rather than taking these off-the-wall games, which fit into my little model, and, Mary Mack in the Northeast over, whoever the hell, I thought we'd just play TV games and just, force my way into a victory in these TV games. Just do what I think is right and do as much research as I could and just find the winner. And it worked, 3 out of 4. So maybe we're on to something. But at any rate, UAB destroyed Charlotte, just as I had hoped. Much the best over Charlotte. I watched the majority of this game, St. Bonaventure and Duquesne. And, my bartender wonders why I want some of these games put on. It's like, can you put ESPN2 on? Sure, he puts it on. It's Duquesne and St. Bonaventure. He's probably thinking, yeah, this is a popular game. But Duquesne, they played hard. And St. Bonaventure did not play well. Their best player, bad game. I can't think of his name. Number 5 had a bad game. But number 0 saved the day. He had a great game, and he saved the day, and we got the cover there by a couple points. Wisconsin, they didn't play particularly well, but, they were good enough. Good enough. They made just enough shots to beat Rutgers. I think Wisconsin played a lot better than they did against Rutgers. I think Rutgers is a team that's, unless Ron Harper starts playing a lot better than he is, that's a team that's going to finish up the track and not make the tournament. So Wisconsin gets easy cover there. And then we were wrong on this one. Nevada easily covered that one. Fresno, that's a pretty untalented team. They just, let's put it this way, Nevada can make shots, Fresno can't. They both play pretty good defense, but, Fresno just cannot create their own offense. And Nevada played enough defense that they didn't just let them run out on the break and dunk on them. So what you were left with were lots of missed Fresno State shots, and we lose there. So that was wrong. But 3 out of 4, we're happy about that. All right, so this is what you want to know. This is what you're looking for. We got 2 games today. We got 2 games tomorrow. Opening up, you got the Rams, you got the Packers. I've already told you I'm looking at the Packers here. So did anything change my mind? If anything, I feel even better about this game now. And honestly, I didn't even really research this one. This was one I just feel we're going to put our top rating on this one. I just feel that this is the Packers' year. I told you they were going to be in the Super Bowl at the beginning of the year. I thought they were the best team in the NFC all year long. Here they are with the number 1 seed. They're at home, and they're laying less than a touchdown. I mean, they're coming off a bye against a team that, look, I think this is the secret to the Rams. You get a big effort out of these guys, you're just not going to get it the next night or the next time out. They're hit, they're missed. They're hit, they're missed. Against Seattle, that was their time to have the big effort. And big effort it was. They knocked out the Seahawks. But now you want them to come back the best player, or let's say it this way, their most important player would be the quarterback. He's hurt. He has banged up hand. They don't even have a backup. He's out. That guy Wolford, he won't play at all. So if for some reason something happens, he gets some other ding or boo-boo or something, and he can't go the rest of the way, I don't even know who they're bringing in. So that's a big factor. Aaron Donald, by far, is their most important player on defense. He's hurt. He's got some kind of rib injury. Look, he's just not going to be the same wrecking ball that he was against Seattle. He's just not. Meanwhile, the Packers, they've been missing some important pieces to their puzzle all year long, off and on. One of their top receiver, is it Adams? He missed some games. Their center, that's another probably second most important player on the offense, and he's good. He missed a bunch of games. They should have everybody back. They should have a full deck. This is probably going to be the best you're going to see the Packers play all year long. And yeah, I just don't see this as a competitive game. I think that the Packers win this game easily. I'll take Aaron Rodgers over Jared Goff all day long, especially outside, at home, in Green Bay. Again, the Rams, dome team. History says dome teams outside, not where you want to be with your money. So Packers, easy in the early game. Late game. Okay, this is a good one. Oh man, I went back and forth in this one. You got two super premium teams here. The Bills, 13-3, as number 2 seed. And then you got the Ravens. They were 14-2 last year. Now this year they stumbled around a little bit. Maybe got bit by the coronavirus a little bit there, lost a couple games. But they just had a big win at Tennessee. So, what do we do here? This is where I came with this. I look at the special teams. I always do that. Trying to see if one team has a hidden advantage. And usually that's where, these teams shine, as they both have great special teams. So that's a wash. Both quarterbacks are pretty close. So I kind of think that's a wash. I just think that the Ravens are just a little better than the Bills. They played last year up at Buffalo in December. Probably the only difference between the Buffalo team of last year and this year is, they got more offense maybe. That the receivers are better. They didn't have, I don't think they had Beasley. I know they didn't have Diggs. So I watched the highlights of that game, but what struck me is the Ravens controlled both lines of scrimmage. That the Ravens were able to run the ball. The Ravens were able to rush Josh Allen right off his feet. Just right off his feet. He had no time to do anything. And I think you might see a little more of that tonight. Just kind of think the Ravens are just a little better. They have more experience. The Ravens have been playing under the sword of Damocles, if you will. That's some kind of mythical deal there where the thing hangs over your head and it threatens to cut your neck off. I forget what the whole story there is. But they've had to win. Since that coronavirus deal, they've been on the edge of being just out. And they've had to win, and they have. They've covered and won like 7 straight games. So they're both teams are on a roll. Bills are on a roll too, but I think one of the things I come back to is that Monday night game against the Browns, which many would say that was the game of the year. And I'm sure you can remember what I'm talking about, that high-scoring back-and-forth game up at Cleveland. And the Browns the Browns needed that game too because they were not yet in the playoffs. The Ravens absolutely needed that game. They lose that game, they're out. And the Ravens got the game. I mean, that came down to, for some reason, Lamar Jackson, he's off the field and he's in the locker room and then he comes out for the fourth down play like the big hero, and rather than just getting the first down, he scores a touchdown and on go the Ravens to win the game. I just think that there might be some little hidden reserve of toughness here with these Ravens that are going to make them the play tonight. Might be just a little soon for Josh Allen and the Bills. So that's kind of what we're thinking there. That you're playing a real premium team tonight in the Ravens. And that was a team that was 14-2 last year. That was a team that was a touchdown favorite at Buffalo last December, just 13 months ago. I think you're catching some value here with the Ravens being an underdog. All right, tomorrow, world champions, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Hill. I can't think of the speedy receiver. Anyway, can't remember everything. But the Chiefs, great team. What were they? 14-2. One of which didn't count, so let's say 14-1. Now the Browns, they're coming on. Every time I say this Browns team, they just prove me wrong. They just keep winning. But now they're up against the world champions. The champions are 10-point favorites. Here's what I did with this. I mean, my gut tells me Chiefs, just because I like Andy Reid. I think he's a great coach. I think history is now showing that he's a great coach. The Browns, I have an animus towards that team. I don't think it's a well-run team. I don't like the owner. I think Stefanski is the best coach that they've had there probably since Belichick, almost certainly since Belichick. But still, the Browns, I think it's maybe too soon for these guys. I went back and looked at champions that have won, in other words, I'm a Super Bowl champion. Now next year I come back and I have another fantastic record. In other words, I'm the number one seed. I've got a 12, 13, 14 win season. How do I do in that divisional game? And the record's pretty clear that almost always I get that game. I win that game, I cover that game. There's just a handful of instances where that team doesn't get done. Probably the most high-profile instance of that would have been 1986 at Chicago when Darryl Green returned the punt against the Bears, breaks his rib in the process as he's going in for the touchdown, scores holding his rib as he runs away from the Bears. Famous moment in NFL history. You people under 30 have no idea what I'm talking about because you were born yesterday. But that was a famous step on your dick moment in NFL history for the Bears. Another one was the mid-90s where that great San Francisco team with Steve Young, Hall of Fame Steve Young at quarterback. They're going to go back-to-back in 95, except they got beat at home by Brett Favre and the Packers. So those are probably the two most high-profile instances where the super team did not cover, or in these cases, lost outright. Usually the super team wins and covers. There's not like, they just squeaked by. No, usually a super team just goes out and takes care of business. And I think that's what's going to happen here. I think the Chiefs are going to take care of business. I think the Chiefs have been screwing around, and they've been waiting for this moment. We'll put 2 stars on that. It wouldn't surprise me if you see the Chiefs execute some stuff that they haven't done all year. That they've just been waiting for this moment to break some things out that they've been practicing all year. But I just think you're going to see the best of the Chiefs. The Browns, I don't know. I mean, like I said, the teams that pull this off and beat that super team trying to go back to back. They themselves are super teams. In other words, 86, that was, the Redskins, well, they didn't win it that year, but they won it the next year. Then the Packers, they didn't win it that year, they won it the next year. So, if the Browns win this game, look out, Cleveland. I mean, that probably means there's a Super Bowl in your future. I just can't believe that. I just, the football gods will not allow the Cleveland Browns to win a Super Bowl. It just feels that, the COVID year or no COVID year. So, anyway, we're going to play it safe. I thought about that. I thought, man, these Browns are really good. I mean, maybe this is the time I need to just switch it up and go with these guys. And I thought, no way. If I go with the Chiefs and I'm wrong, well, then I'll just be wrong with everybody else. We're not going to try to. We're going to try to be too clever here. We're just taking the Chiefs. All right, last one. Super game here with the Hall of Fame old quarterbacks. You got the Buccaneers, you got the Saints. The Saints, they've won both games this year. This is a divisional matchup. Last game they won was in Tampa. It was not close. The Saints, for whatever reason, were just ready to play their best game of the year, and the Buccaneers are ready to play their worst game of the year, and it was a beating and a half. That's kind of where I'm coming off of. Tom Brady's record after a beating like that, it's phenomenal. Now, he had Bill Belichick helping him, with his fantastic defenses and scheming and whatever he got there. But still, I'm just kind of thinking the Buccaneers have been adding pieces all year long. And I think the Buccaneer weaponry may be a little more frightening than the Saints' weaponry. That the receivers for the Bucs just a little more dangerous than the Saints. That maybe Brady is just a little more dangerous than Breeze. I think a key instant or a key point in this game is Taysom Hill, the gadget guy, the H-back for the Saints, the backup quarterback for the Saints. He's not going to play. That's what I read. The internet told me that, so it's on. It must on the internet. It must be true. Remember, I got that one trademarked. I said, if it's on the internet, I read it on the internet. It must be true. That's my trademark quote. At any rate, Hill probably is not going to play. That leaves your backup is famous Jameis Winston, and that's to me no contest there. Brady and the Bucs easy over the Saints if they got to play Winston. And backup quarterbacks, they come into the game. It happens. Probably happens 10, 15% of the time. So that's a significant edge that you got to account for that goes to the Bucs. Otherwise, I'm not really buying into this. It's impossible to beat the same team 3 times in the same year. I don't think that holds. I don't think that holds at all. I'm just thinking that the Buccaneers are getting better, and the team that they played in whatever that was down in Tampa 2 months ago, the Bucs are different. They're better now. Antonio Brown is a contributor now. He wasn't in that game. So I really just I don't have a super strong feeling on this one. If you had to pick one and said, well, which one do you like? Flip a coin on, I'd be like, this one. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and go with Tom Brady and just say, this guy's supposed to be the greatest winner in the history of the NFL. So here he is in a spot where he can prove this. Well, all right, I'll I'll go with you. I'll say he figures a way to get this done. This would be a distinct dent in his legacy if, now he's going up against another premium NFL Hall of Famer in Breeze, and he doesn't get it done. This is for his first chance to get something done on his own without the great Bill Belichick. So, yeah, I'm thinking Tom Brady is pretty motivated in this game. Not that Drew Brees isn't. This might be Drew Brees' last go-around. At a certain point, Father Time catches up to you, although it seems to be not catching up to Tom Brady for some reason. At any rate, we're taking the Bucks there. That's the one I got the least amount of confidence in. That's why I put the 1 star on that. But we really like the Packers. That's the early game today. Then we feel pretty good about the Ravens and the Chiefs. And then, Bucks, Saints. It's close. We'll take the Bucks. Take the points. There you have it. Good. All right. Let's have a good weekend. Hit the like button. That always makes me feel good. Makes me a better handicapper. Subscribe. That makes me feel even better. I think right now what we're doing is we're having a kind of a changing of the guard, if you will, where all the people that subscribe to hear me talk about politics and bash Democrats, they're all dropping me, but we're exchanging them maybe for some actual sports subscribers, which that's fine. No hard feelings, politics people. I just don't have time to do it, and YouTube's made it pretty clear that they're going to kick you off their service if you do it. So, like I said, some days you got to decide whether you're going to fight and whether you're going to march. And for now, we're going to march. So, thanks. We appreciate all your loyalty. Hope you liked it. Let's go Packers. Good football, good weekend, good afternoon.